This is Plastic Romance, and we are interviewing today Erik Kimerer.
If I had a nickel every time.
I apologize.
Yeah, it's fine.
You'd have a dime.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We get a dime. Alright, so I'm just going to do simple Q&A, blah, 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 all that jazz. So,
Fantastic.
Yeah, so first things first, tell us about your background.
Yes, I started off in Seattle. I took a couple of theater classes in high school, and then I signed up for a newsletter for a local convention, and they sent out this note saying there's a veteran Japanese voice actress, she's been in the business for 20 years, who moved to Seattle and was looking for local talent. So I took that class and started taking it for about a couple years, and it was in the Japanese style of ADR, where you actually rehearse with a group of people and you all record together as opposed to individually, which is like in America. I took that for a number of years, and then I also graduated as a theater major from the University of Puget Sound. And theater is my first love. Well, actually, you know, voiceover is my first love, but theater really was a high contender for that.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you had to take theater, you had to take theater.
Yeah, there's a lot of, well, there's a lot of skills that translate really well from theater. Just the presentation, projection, you always have to have that slight exaggeration, because, you know, you have to let the people in the back row know exactly what you're doing, and that's kind of what it is with anime, because the faces don't really express it, the voice expresses it a lot. So you have to only slightly exaggerate it so it's not over the top, but let them know the intention.
I see.
Yeah.
Alright, so second question, so who or what is your inspiration for acting?
I'm going to show myself on this one, just my own style, but Robin Williams is my inspiration. And oddly enough, it was Aladdin, his performance in the show Aladdin, that got me into it, because I saw him as the genie, and his was like, as a kid, you watch cartoons and you don't really point out actors, you just listen to the cartoons. His was the first distinct voice I pointed out. I was like, oh, that's Robin Williams. I saw Mrs. Doubtfire afterwards and saw him play a voice actor. I was like, oh, that's a job! So, his manic style, his manic high energy thing really works with my ADHD kind of, you know, that high energy acting. So his is he's always been a big inspiration.
I mean, like, real talk. That's actually how I learned about voice acting, because I've always watched Aladdin because I always mimic the genie's voice.
Yep.
And then later on, it's just like, Deb, you gotta get into acting. I was like, it's a job?
Yep.
What? And yeah, that's kind of a coincidence, actually.
Yeah, actually. And like I said, it was Mrs. Doubtfire that kind of showed it, but oddly enough, not the greatest representation of voiceover. So anybody who watches that movie know that it's not like that at all.
No. Alright, let's move on. So, yeah, did you have any certain goals before you became a voice actor?
Before I became a voice actor, I mean, I wanted to fall into the family business, which was law enforcement. My dad, uncle, and 3 of my grandparents are all officers of law, and that's kind of where I thought I was going to end up. And then I found out I had a little bit of an affinity for science, so then I thought, oh, forensic science, I'll keep in the law enforcement, do that. And then I decided to abandon the stable job idea and just say, hey, I'm an actor now. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's quite a jump, so.
A little bit, but it was an elective in high school my freshman year. They required you take an extracurricular elective class for the course. I took theater, and that was it. I was just like, okay, this is me. This is what I need to do.
All right, cool. So which character is your favorite role so far?
Actually, to be honest, Alibaba. Just because, I mean, I think he's the closest to my natural energy. Oh. Just his high intensity, and of course his loyalty to his friends, I really, really relate to a lot. He has such a burning passion, and that's just so easy to channel with my own zeal and my own gung-ho attack on voiceover.
All right, cool. So what was the biggest struggle during the process of recording?
Just for this, or just in general?
Just in general, yeah.
The biggest struggle, I guess it would be the timing of it all, because you're doing, it's the multitasking, you're doing so much. You're watching a video and reading a script and memorizing it, and you're having to emote it and match it up with the mouth flaps and everything. And like I said, I'm pretty ADHD, so my mind, I'll be in the middle of a take, I have an idea of how I want to perform it, and then right in the middle, as I'm speaking it, my mind will go, no, let's try this way, and just completely veers off course. So, you know, it's keeping the focus and keeping the timing of it all in one, especially when you're doing something like Alibaba where you're yelling and you have to do a lot of really intense, commanding scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so last question. Any advice to your past self?
Oh man, don't take anything so seriously. Just have fun with what you're doing because it's going to come to you eventually. It's not something that you need to beat yourself up over.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, I can relate.
Yeah, it's a tough process. It's a long journey and it's never over.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Alright, well, that ends the review, and you're watching Plastic Rodents. Jazz hands. Jazz hands.